Welcome to the Merry Podcast, where we talk about what it means to be merry when you're feeling high, and more importantly, when you're feeling low. All right, so this is episode number 3. Today, we're going to talk about anger versus fear meditation, the ideal weight loss per week, overtraining, and of course, Psalms 121, which is one of my favorite Psalms. Definitely love it. Definitely an encouraging verse for spirituality, whether you are Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, no religion. Eat, drink, and be merry. All right. So, anger versus fear meditation, right? So, I was reading the other week about becoming a monk, thinking like a monk. And one thing that they talk about, whether you're Christian or Buddhist monk, is definitely meditation. Whether you're meditating on the word or you're meditating just for mindfulness and presence, which is also solid. It's good to be mindful. Like Solomon talks about mindfulness. Jesus was so mindful at times he would pray until he would bleed. Um, so, one thing I learned from anger meditation, I was exploring anger. I don't think of myself as an angry person. I think of myself as like a pretty merry guy, honestly. Um, if I ever do get angry or if I ever do get sad, I know that I will always return to my Zen, merry like state where the world is good, the world is cheery, merry. But that being said, Jay said that he wasn't afraid until he really evaluated it. So I sat alone with my thoughts for like 10 minutes and I tried to really think about things that infuriated me, things that made me frustrated, made me mad. And actually, it was really possible to achieve anger, angle. It was really possible to achieve anger just through thinking about it, just through meditating on things that made me angry. And I realized I have a lot of anger inside of me that, uh, can flow up. But the beautiful thing about that is emotions aren't a permanent state. Nothing on earth is a permanent state. Matter is neither created nor destroyed, it's transferred. So we're transferred from the dust to the man, and we will return to the man, to the dust. So it's not to say that, nothing gold can stay, but it's to say no bad night doesn't have a day that ends it. So if you can meditate on your anger, meditate on your fear, and really go into it and elaborate it and not run from it, but assess it, the deeper you go into something, the more you realize that it is not truly permanent. It is not something that is part of your character. For instance, snakes, right? You may be afraid of snakes. Anacondas are huge. They can crush the ribs of stronger skeletons than us. So that's a very real fear. But if you're around a garden snake or a pet snake for an hour or two, that fear will subside. So nothing painful, fearful is not able to be overcome. Uh, it just may take more running towards it the further you've run away from it. And so that's why I'm glad that I found out that I do get angry, because if you know that you're angry, you can study why you're angry, deconstruct why you're angry, and you can actually use that for good. I remember when I was coding and learning how to code, I should say, coding is such a abyss of knowledge. You can get deep and deep into it, and still not even feel as though you are a coder. But my first day of trying to code, um, I couldn't get the program to work, and that infuriated me because I've been around computers since I got my first Compaq when 2005, and even before that. And uh, and so I was really pissed. I was pissed. I'll say it. I was frustrated, and so I couldn't talk. I was afraid that if I talked, I would yell. So instead, I went for a run, and I found that even though when I started the run I was mad, around mile 2 I started to lose that anger, and the anger turned into bliss. I think it's all about mediating, your highs and your lows, your dark and your light. So once you find that soothing gray, it's a beautiful place to be. All right, so let's move on to ideal weight loss for the week. This also can apply to weight gain for the week. Now, that's not to be said. If the further you are from the standard deviation, the further you are from the median, the mode, the mean of weight, the possibly greater amount of weight loss you could lose per week um, could increase at a healthy rate, and could not alter your body composition. Like for instance, if you're 400 pounds and you're losing 4 pounds a week, that's fantastic. But if you're 200 pounds and you're losing 4 pounds a week, that's not so fantastic. And here's why: the body needs a certain amount of caloric balance. It needs to be within 1,000 calories of your normal diet. So if you cut too drastically, more than 1,000 calories, then you're at risk of just altering your body composition. And true, you may lose 3 pounds a week, but at what cost? You're losing that good lean muscle that you've worked hard to achieve. Lean muscle isn't put on easily. If you want to cut, feel free to cut. But I'm just saying, if I'm going to cut, I'm going to aim for 1 pound a week, because 1 to 2 pounds a week, 500 calorie deficit is ideal. If you're someone like me who loves to exercise and is losing weight for the summer or just for self esteem or confidence, I would definitely recommend shooting for 1 pound a week, because the way that you work out on a daily or weekly regular interval basis is affected by 1,000 calorie cuts. If you only have so many calories, what are you going to use in your engine? What are you going to use in your engine when you're eating a 1,500 calorie diet and you're burning 1,000 calories a day? I mean, just cut 500. Cut 500. All right. And the ideal weight loss per week is between 0 and 2 pounds, just like the ideal weight gain is between 0 and 2 pounds. 500 calories is equal to 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound of weight. And if you want to know kilos, you just simply multiply the pounds by 2.205, so you would need to multiply the calories by 2.205, and let's just go ahead and do that. So 1 kilogram is equal to 3,500 times 2.205, 7,717 calories. So if you want to lose half a kilo a week, roughly, you're going to want to cut 500 calories if you're from what you're eating now. So that means that if you have 3 sodas a day, cut that back to 3 teas a day, and you'll lose, uh, theoretically, from kilometry and metabolism science, you'll lose 1 pound a week just from cutting out sugar. Um, Okay, and so yeah, that's the ideal weight loss per week. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That's how you support my channel, but obviously I'm doing this out of my love for the game and not my love for the support or monetization or anything like that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about overtraining, right? 커피 너무 좋아하세요. Okay, coffee, I like it. Um, so overtraining. Overtraining is the level to which your training supersedes overload. Overload is the ideal ratio of stress put on the body to result in healthy strength, endurance, stamina, agility gains. But once you reach this level of overtraining, you're overreaching the overload, and that is when you're at risk for injury. So this is common, very common amongst triathletes. This is very common again amongst bodybuilders, and definitely common amongst any athlete, whether recreationally or collegiately. And I think collegiately definitely more than recreationally, because at a certain point your body tells you to stop, and when you're not training for something larger than yourself, you may stop. So it's important to listen to your body, right? I won't get too much into rest days and why they're important and why my God even rested after he created the world. So, yeah, I won't get into that too much, but what I will say is that overtraining is critical to study. There is a statistic that the ratio of cortisol compared to your ratio of testosterone, particularly in males, but could also be in females, because there's only a 5% degree, roughly speaking, between the difference of testosterone in males and females. Anyways, I digress. Sorry about that trajectory. Sorry about that tangent. So essentially, if your cortisol is as high as your testosterone and you aren't recovering well, then you are more at risk of IT band injuries, ankle sprains, ankle strains, mental fatigue. Let's just look up overtraining symptoms. Overtraining syndrome symptoms. Just to cover my bases, uh, fatigued, reduced appetite and weight loss drastically, irritation, agitation, persistent injuries or muscle pain, declines in performance. So, that being said, if you notice declines in performance, if you notice you're irritated, agitated, I would definitely focus on recovery. Focus on eating protein, 20 grams right after your exercise. Some even say Willoughby did a study where he had 20 grams before exercise and 20 grams after. And that man, if you've seen him in real life, that man is a boulder. That man is rock and vein. Um, if you give him a handshake, you'll feel like it's humbling. It's humbling to give Dr. Willoughby a handshake. I did it in Waco, Texas, and I will say very humbling. Um, but overtraining, rest. Rest is the fourth discipline of triathlon. It's one of the most critical parts of exercise. Yeah, they say that abs are made in the kitchen, but to be honest, a healthy, non overtraining lifestyle is made right here at home. If you can reduce your stress, reduce your cortisol, then you'll be able to utilize more cortisol to improving your wellness, your physique. Um, so yeah, cortisol is the stress hormone, and it's related to all stress. And exercise, physical stress is not unlike mental, emotional, or spiritual stress. So, you know, just monitor yourself. Self love, baby. All right. And Psalms 121, I will close with this verse because this verse is one that I love very much. So, um, my friend told me this verse, but I will go ahead and read it because I like it so much that I got it tatted on my ankle. Yeah. Psalms 121, a song of ascents. I lift my eyes into the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He watches. Ah, let me restart that line. Line 3. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. That's awesome. And that reminds me of Carrie Joby's The Blessing, which is a song that is just dedicated to blessing your future and blessing, the church. And it's just a really harmonious anthem. But yeah, if you like this podcast, if you have any questions about Christianity or just like anything at all, please feel free to reach out. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, and I've got free time. And as far as podcasts go, I'll be trying to drop a new one every Monday, Korean Standard Time. I'm a morning guy, an early bird, so I'll probably drop one sometime in the morning on Monday, KST. So feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Feel free to hit me up. And stay merry, stay blessed, take it easy.